Machtails from the Cantina live. Coming at you again virtually. I cannot wait until Star Wars Celebration when Machtails has its first live appearance at the Unsung Brewery in Anaheim. Happy Cinco de Mayo to all my amigos out there. I want to say something, but I'm going to save it for when Tyler comes on. I got a great show tonight. Tyler's going to join us as he usually does. Alfie Jimenez is in the house. He's in the Wampa Cave tonight. And then we got Sean on the other end on Zoom. But we got to do a little housekeeping here. It's been a little bit of a mess. Last live 3 shows, I did not do the drinking word of the day. So we're going to have 3 drinking words because it is Revenge of the 5th. And it is Cinco de Mayo. So we're going to party until our sombreros fall off. I got the good guy names in here. Those are the Patreon members. Going to do 2 name draws today. One is for last night. They do not need to be present to win. The second one, they do need to be present to win. I'm going to do that at the end of the show. Bad guy tin. Okay, here we go. 3 drinking words. So keep track. First one is Alfie. Every time we say Alfie, a shot of tequila. We also have support. Thank you to all my Patreon members for supporting the show. Without you, I would not be doing this, to be honest with you. I love doing it, but your support means the world to me. And show. Yes, we have a great show for you tonight. And our next live show is going to be next Wednesday. Next Wednesday. Remember, drinking words 3. Alfie support show, not in combination. Anytime we say one, remember, drink responsibly. Drink only if you're 21 and over. And our next live show is going to be with Frank D. Rich, who was on the show last night on our May the 4th Star Wars Day special. Him and I are going to talk a lot about Star Wars autograph collecting and all the celebrities on the roster for Celebration 10 that's taking place in Anaheim in just a few weeks. But Tyler, I want to bring you on, my friend, and I want to find out, how did you celebrate Star Wars Day aside from being behind the scenes on Mocktails from the Cantina? And you did a double dip, as they say in baseball terms. You did RFR duties last night. Yesterday was like a big shopping day, right? As my producer Matthew Rooney had said, May 25th, as you guys know, it is the real Star Wars Day. But like Tyler, you had said, what's wrong with celebrating another day with Star Wars, right?
Yeah. And I got Rich Brendel kind of got that going with my gear, so I got to give a shout out to him for that. You can celebrate more than once. But I spent yesterday with your show, with RFR. I only bought one thing. Most of the Hasbro stuff did not look very good. But I got this on Amazon, this Bodhi Rook.
Oh, yes.
6-inch. I've been looking to get this for a while, and it dropped to $20. So that was a no-brainer.
Yeah, and you gave me the heads up on that because that was one of the few that I needed. But you see, I feel like between my collecting habits as of late, and Alfie can always chime in on Sean's collecting habits. He's always like, man, Sean's got the trailer that's bigger than our collection combined. I feel like I'm overwhelmed and I can't keep up, especially with all this shit that went on sale yesterday, man.
Yeah, you don't need to keep up, man. A lot of the newer stuff is not. It's repackaged, repainted. It's not like you have to buy everything. I mean, there's people out there that do that, but pick to what you like. I like Bodhi Rook. I like Riz Ahmed. He's the only Rogue One 6-inch figure I'm going to buy. So
I know you're a big fan of Riz Ahmed, and remember I said that he's got a lot of great music out there. He's a rap artist.
Yeah.
I don't think there is such thing as a bad Riz Ahmed movie.
No.
I think he was the A-lister before he was even an A-lister in Rogue One. I mean, his acting ability, he really wanted that job, and he really proved that he wanted that job just through his acting on.
Yeah, his audition tapes, man. if you go out and look at those where he's just saying the same thing into the
I know.
camera.
From his phone, right?
Yeah, his phone. It's like, holy
And they
crap.
were just like, "No, you didn't need to send all that to us,
Yeah.
but he did." And it's like that. You know what? That's a life lesson. You go above and beyond, and you get you get rewarded for it.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to bring on my brother Alfie Jimenez. Alfie's in the house. I told him that I didn't want him in the same shot. It is Cinco de Mayo. Hey, Tyler, I got to ask you before I bring Alfie on. Do you know how to say Star Wars in Spanish?
I mean, it's a proper noun, right? If you're talking about the IP, so Star Wars. I mean, it depends, right? I don't know.
Well, according to the Lily Letty packaging, and the thing about Cinco de Mayo is it became a big thing because of the beer companies in the 1980s. And today we kind of, of course, it's the Battle of Puebla where the Mexican army had beaten the French.
Yeah.
And they won that battle. That's like their Independence Day, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's also turned into a day where we celebrate and understand and learn about the Mexican culture and the heritage. But I remember when I was in the restaurant business, my friend that I was working with, he was the busboy. He said, "Los Guerreros de Galaxias."
Yeah, and that's on the tri logo, so I should have known that. But here I am.
It's on the tri logo. But you know what? If you don't mind, I want to. You got the photos of the Lily Letty figures?
Yeah. Let's pull up R2, man. He's roaring and ready to go.
Some really, really crazy ones on there, and this stuff is like it's a vintage R2, but I think it's 12-inch style, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looks
12-inch scale. Now these are the holy grails of collecting. Like the reproduced versions of these, the reproductions of these, go for like $350, which is nuts. Those are the repros. And they had the Tuscan Raider, which I always thought was very interesting because that was never made in the United States. We never got a 12-inch R2 that looked like that.
Oh, yeah,
so I bet you Diego Luna had all these when he was a kid. You know, he grew up in Mexico City. He's a huge fan of Star Wars. I want to say he's got older siblings. I think that's how he was introduced to Star Wars. But these are some cool pieces. I do not have these, and I've never seen these at any toy show.
I'm looking at the W. The W in the Star Wars there is like an upside down M. Sorry.
Yeah, it almost looks like a bootleg, but it's a legitimate release,
Yeah, crazy.
But the crazy thing about the Lily Letty packaging is that they only did the unique packaging for the first line. But then when they went on, as the lines got released, they were more true to like a tri-logo packaging or like a US release,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, well, I want to bring in my brother Alfie Jimenez because it is not only May is a big day. May is big. May is a big month, not a big day, but May is a big month. Oh yeah, you put your chair right there, man. May is a huge. Hey, guy Dale Morris is chiming in. The Tuscan Raider with pupils is kind of creepy. Yes, it is very, very unique. But Alfie, okay, not only is it Star Wars month, it's also Mental Health Awareness Month. Cinco de Mayo. One day, we learn about the Mexican traditions and heritage, or we celebrate it at least.
Right.
But you guys have a whole month, Asian Pacific Heritage Month.
We do have a whole month.
And
despite my last name, Jimenez, I'm actually Filipino, which means I'm Asian. Crazy.
Well, I think we knew that, though.
Right.
I think we knew that. I knew it at least anyway. Maybe some of the viewers didn't. But, man, you got Asia Pacific Heritage Month is a whole month, and it's only one day that we get to partake in learning about the Mexican heritage. There seems to be a little unbalance with that.
Discrepancy. You think about it, they get one day, and then the Asians get actually a whole month. But quite honestly, I don't think people celebrate Asian Heritage Month or Pacific Islander Month like they do Cinco de Mayo. They're not going to get Chinese, Filipino, Vietnamese and Cambodian Laotian food every day of the week. They're just gonna It's just like, hey, it's one of their months.
So sometimes, like with collecting, I get overwhelmed. I get overwhelmed with there's a national day for everything every day.
It's crazy.
But you know what? It's celebrating life, celebrating everybody. It's 365 days a year, right? So Sean is going to join the show. If you, Tyler, if you don't mind helping Sean out, join the show.
Yeah, we're working on it.
He needs a link. I know I didn't have to say that on the air, but this is a little bit of the drunken debauchery that we go through on Machtails from the Cantina. Hey, speaking about drunken debauchery, I have to give a shout out and a big thank you to my good friend Kevin Lyle. Kevin Lyle hooked me up at ICC Con. I want to recommend that you guys check out Norse Legion. He's got a lot of cool patches, a lot of cool shirts. Something that you definitely want to check out. He did the Tuscan Ewok for The Force Within Us. And he also did the It's a Wrap shirt for the Force Within Us red carpet event. So be sure to check him out. I'm going to be plugging him as much as I can because he helped me out at ICC Con. And he's going to be joining the live show eventually down the road. We did the YouTube recording with him that was not released, but that's available on Patreon. Alfie, before we bring Sean on, one thing I do inside the Wampa Cave, I don't know if you do this. I collect things still today. This guy's been in the package since 2006. And, the funny thing is, this is Hemdazan. Hemdazan was mentioned in The Force Among Us by my cousin, Glenn. And I bought him at the toy show for $10. But one thing I like to do,
You're opening it.
is I like to open the figures. Now, you're not really that stuff, are you? Because you open stuff. But my friend
I'm an opener.
Jason Ugent, he freaks about this shit because he does not open his figures. But I've been collecting these Cantina aliens. You can see me open all kinds of stuff on inside the Wampa Cave. This guy's kind of easy to open too. Kind of, right? His foot is caught. But how cool is that, man? He comes with a freaking bar and a little glass. I mean, it's got my hands are a little shaky, but
that's pretty cool.
How cool is that, man?
Is that the stuff that Fennec Shand was drinking at the end of Mandalorian season 2?
It might have been
when they killed.
I got the Cantina too, the Navarro Cantina. Right. I haven't opened that up, but he can maybe have a drink there. But do you open stuff?
When it comes to the micro machines, yes. Yeah,
you got a lot of stuff open. It's because of him. I have not only the first display case, but all the others. It's all your fault, Alfie.
Well, he came over to my house, and about 2 weeks later, I got a case. I'm like, what? Yeah.
And it should have bought more.
They went out of business probably the following year, unfortunately. They're still, to date, the best display cases we've ever seen.
Yeah, the best display cases. Yes, for sure. I mean, I like a lot. I like all my display cases, but there's something that's open face.
But it was almost perfect for like Star Wars stuff or whatever, because this stuff here looks like China and everything. But those cases in particular are perfect for Star Wars collectors.
Yes, it was made for Star Wars collecting. Hey, before we bring on Sean, it's the real fans of the saga reunion. So I want to light this candle for my brother Bo. And the funny thing is, Alfie, you were going to light this right away, knowing that it was Bo's candle. But I'm like, you know what? That's the thing.
You need a barbecue lighter.
I need a barbecue lighter. Yes, come on, man. Come on. Oh, man. Is it not going to light? I'm going to burn my finger.
Yeah. You have a piece of paper?
Well, yeah, a piece of paper. There you go. I don't have sprinklers in the Wampa Cave, but I don't think we need them. Yeah, there you go. Now you're thinking, are you a pyromaniac?
I used to be a pyromaniac.
I think all us kids from the 80s were pyromaniacs. Can we light this? Here we go. Let's see.
Yeah, we do.
And you know what's cool? These are...
Let's leave it in there.
The cool thing about this too is this was based. Bo did this artwork, and this is very much based on like the I want to say like the Catholic candles that a lot of the Spanish people have used in Catholic services. I don't remember the name specifically of that, but
to quote Gary from Weird Science, it's ceremonial.
It is ceremonial, yes. So hey, I want to bring my brother Sean on. Sean is joining us virtually because we have to make the show work like this. Sean, is your volume?
What's up?
It sounds like your volume's up on your computer.
The host has muted me, is what it says.
The host is muted. No, you know what? We are having technical difficulties.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
But I can also hear myself.
Oh.
Maybe get some headphones on. You know, the funny thing about this is that we had a dumpster fire and a train wreck in Nashville because we went live and the echo was so bad. And the funny thing is, you know, I've been working in the TV business for so long, and it seems like no matter what level or what scale you do it on, there's always a brand new
How about now?
problem. But the most important thing about the problem is we learn how to fix it, and we just did that. So thank you, Sean. Thank you for that. Sean, welcome to the show, as always. Celebration 2 ended on this day. It was this day 20 years ago. So not only is this a real Fans of the Saga reunion, but this is a reunion of
Celebration 2.
Celebration 2, Farewell. That's where you guys first roomed together, right?
Yeah. That's when I dragged him along with me while Lisa and I were on a break.
All the show, where all the panel, all the people of Celebration that stayed there, all the Star Wars people. So there wasn't a lot of like fans per se. It was right across the street from the convention.
It was perfect.
I'm gonna say it and I'll say it again. Celebration 2 and 3, you were there.
Yeah,
Hands down, best celebrations we've ever been to.
They were definitely some of the more fun ones because they were more easygoing. It was still early stage celebration, very low key, you know.
It's just you know, and you can have, you know, you can hang out. I hung out with Rick. We hung out with Rick McCallum just in the back of the.
You had
studio.
a cigarette with him.
I had a cigarette with him. I don't smoke anymore, but I had a smoke with Rick McCallum. He's just like, "Hey, you want to smoke? Sure."
You know, and that is how I felt about the ICC.
There it is.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
That's when we ran into. Yeah, we ran into him outside the convention center, just chilling.
He was able to smoke with his assistant. You know?
Sean, what the hell is up with that facial hair, brother?
Right.
Well, like I said, you know, Lisa and I were on a break, so my evil twin grew a goatee, and just because I was finally allowed to, because there was nobody to tell me not to, and that was the result of that. So, yeah, and that's when I was walking around dressed up as who I was calling Darth Hines at the time.
But Celebration 2 and 3 was just magical. It really was.
You know, it was, and it grew fast. It grew fast. You know, Sean, it's funny. Lisa's always telling you that you can't have the facial hair. My wife gets on me about cutting my hair all the time, and look at me.
Also,
what does your wife get on you about, man?
Just about everything.
Just about everything.
She's like, she just looks for stuff.
Another interesting fact about Celebration 2 is that this cosplayer this guy walking around, I don't know if you could see that, as the American Trooper. This was the inspiration for Mandalorian mashups. I saw this Flag Trooper walking around, and I'm like, I want to flag Boba Fett. And so the first mashup I ever made was the Captain America Fett or Patriot Fett or Flag Fett, whatever you want to call it, by several names. But this was what triggered the inspiration for Mandalorian mashups.
One thing about Celebration 2 is that there was costuming, but it was all like hodgepodge, mishmash, just kind of just thrown together costumes.
Yeah, there was even a Cylon Raider walking around at Celebration 2.
But when it came to Celebration 3, it was almost a quantum leap in costumes.
Yeah, it was. It was.
You know,
I mean, because the 501st started. What the 501st started in '99, but
yeah, and they had a presence in Celebration too, no doubt about it. It was mostly clones, but I like mine. I remember I had the Yoda, you know, and I had the Gap backpack, and I had that little Yoda.
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And
And seeing the Force Among Us, of course.
And then the tank top,
Yep.
and had the pants, and it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. You know, but that's the kind of costumes we had. But then I remember, Celebration 3, we're like hardcore now, starting to really kind of up the game, and then obviously Celebrations beyond that. Well, now it's super.
So here's the question for you guys. We've all been in this fight since we were 6 years old. Do you think this is a serious question? Do you think that Celebration has gotten too big? And if it has, why are you? This is unscripted too. I didn't even have this in my notes, but why are we still going? For me, I think it's gotten too big, and I think I cannot break the streak at this point. My friend Eric from Michigan said, I cannot pay for those autographs and photographs like that. There are not enough, third stormtroopers from the left. And it's like people that don't have Amy Allen's autograph yet. Where the hell have you been for the last?
Right.
But I feel like it's gotten too big, but I'm going because I cannot break the streak. How about you, Alfie?
I 100% agree. So, like, when are the panels? When do we find out what the panels and who's going? I'm like, what happened? Because you know me, I'm a loafer.
Yeah, you're a loafer, but I like to know when the panels are.
I know, but here's the thing, though. I mean, like in Celebration 2 and 3, they had these exhibit rooms where you can just walk in and out of. Remember they had those rooms where they're just playing the commercials from the back in the day.
Yes.
It was just kind of like almost like a summit.
It was like ICC Con.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you guys got to go next weekend. Or next year, I should say.
It's like people are like, is there a place where I can stay where it's quiet during the celebration? What? Because even in Celebration Chicago, I remember one guy's asking, are the bathrooms close to the convention center? I'm like, no, you're going to have to pee in the corner.
Right.
Because I think even in Chicago, it was in our backyard, and Sean and I talked about this. It was so like, we've been there, done that. We're just kind of like, well, there's nothing new here. You know what I mean? Even though we had a great time.
Yes.
It was in our backyard. It was super easy to get to, but it's just, I don't know.
Well, you know what? You got to find the new, because that's like what I did Force Among Us in 2007. That was a new experience.
Right.
And then 05, you gotta kind of look for the new experience, but you have to do it organically. I gotta let Sean answer too, but do you feel like we're returning to Anaheim? Do you feel like you're kind of going back there for some nostalgia because of our brother Bo?
I don't know.
That was a good convention that we filmed the real fans of the saga.
Actually, that was a good convention, but the convention center itself wasn't that great.
Oh, the convention center sucks.
I mean, the food trucks were good.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Brad Riverdale says cons have gotten too commercialized. That's what happens when people figure out it's fun.
Right.
Just be happy you've been there since the beginning. Amen to that, brother.
Yeah. I mean, it's that to the question, like, did it get? Yeah. As far as has it gotten too big? Of course it's gotten too big, and it's going to keep getting bigger. You just no stopping it. The train is out of the station. There's no stop. There's no turning it back now. So that's why it's nice to remember the old days. Now, like you said, you got to find the fun in each one. And I've said it several times before. It's hard to pick a favorite celebration because each one has a different flavor, and you just got to figure out what part of that did you enjoy instead of trying to compare apples to oranges. Although, like Alfie said, the early days were, the salad years, or as we like to maybe call them, were definitely with the low keyness and easy. Things are a lot more accessible.
Did you say salad years?
Yeah.
when was the last time you ate a salad, my friend?
Well, as you can see,
we've always busted your balls. You don't like to eat anything green. We've done this on the show.
Yeah, that's my. As you see, I got my Celebration 5. I think this was my my VIP exclusive shirt that was given out.
That is a nice shirt.
This was the first. This was
2010, August 12th through the 15th. I would not have been there if it was 2014 because that is when my daughter was born, right smack dab in the middle of that date right there.
Well, how about that?
Happened a reason, you know.
Well, like you said, I don't want to break my streak either because I've been to every stateside celebration that there's been. But like, and when after Chicago, when they announced 2020, I was on the fence of maybe breaking the streak because it was the following year. And if they decide they want to turn this into an annual thing, eventually I'm going to have to skip one.
Or spread them out. Go to Dallas or.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's either going to be in California or Florida.
Because here's the thing: when it was in Chicago, it was such an opportunity for so many people in the Midwest to go without having to fly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because when we go to Orlando, most of the people we meet are from the east half of the country, and I remember in Anaheim, same thing. Most of the people were from the west half of the country, but in Chicago,
it made the trip.
The drive radius was full circle. Anything 12, 14 hours. LA, you only have, and then in Florida, you only have whatever. And everyone I heard that we talked to was like, oh my God, we were able to drive here and actually go to a celebration.
Right. The fact that it became drivable for a lot more people was the turning point for a lot of people. And that's why there was a lot of people where that was their first celebration.
And that's also the reason why we like Indianapolis so much, because it was easy to get to,
True.
Yeah, but I feel like Indianapolis, well, one, again, we're in a new era. It's the Disney era. It has no business going in another state, as much as I'd like that to happen. It's really going to be in California or Florida, simply for the fact that they want people at those theme parks, and they want people on that $5,000 virtual cruise that they have.
Yeah, and when it costs more to go to the hotel Star Wars in Tahiti per night.
Yeah. It's crazy.
There's a little discrepancy there.
Do you want to go to Hawaii for 3 weeks, or do you want to go on the Star Cruiser for 5 nights?
Obviously it makes sense for it to just bounce between Orlando and California, but I'm not giving up hope that they're going to take this to other places every once in a while. I think it's going to be
every once in a while. That's a good point.
Because it's in LA, it's in Los Angeles, or it's in Anaheim or Florida where it belongs. I hate it when people say that. Oh, it belongs, because you live there. But
yeah,
well,
because here's the thing: when
it belongs in our heart,
Because here's the thing:
it belongs in a museum.
When you can drive to a celebration, you can bring all your costumes. When you fly, it really limits on what you can bring.
Right.
Because we're not shipping giant crates of our armor, but if we drive, we can load up my minivan and be like, hey, we can bring whatever we want.
Yeah, it's easier.
It's way easier.
All right, here's a question for you guys then. Chuck, did you even answer the original question? You said celebration has gotten too big, and you don't want to.
I don't want to break my streak. That's why I keep going. I keep going because I love it. I just flat out love it. It's Star Wars, and like Alfie had kind of hinted towards, when people kind of hem and haw whether or not they're going to go based on a panel or a celebrity is ridiculous, because it's 100% a Star Wars convention. Star Wars from open to close. That's all it is. And the fact that it's a Star Wars convention is all the reason I need to go to a Star Wars convention, because I will find something to make me happy. And it doesn't matter if they don't announce the panels until day one. There will be something there for me to enjoy. It doesn't matter if they don't announce any celebrities until they show up. I will find somebody that I want to see. I understand the planning part of it, but to think to say, well, I'm not going to go in because they haven't announced a celebrity yet is ridiculous, just to me. But that's me.
Well, okay, let's go back. Oh, well, one, I got to tell you, I was a little disappointed with the lack of news on Star Wars Day yesterday. There was nothing except for the $400 Ewan McGregor photo op, which Sean and I are going to at least split at this point. Hopefully we can end up splitting that 4 ways. It's the most expensive thing I ever purchased. Could you ever spend that money on an autograph or a photo?
No.
I mean, that is ridiculous, but it is Ewan McGregor.
I mean, how much was Nicole Eggert, Sean?
$20.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich Brennan's chiming in, driving home from work, and he's got us in the car. So, hey, Rich, right. I love you. Thank you for your support, brother. Looking forward to going to celebration.
I think for me, $100 is the max.
$300?
$100,
yeah. We got Felicity Jones. We got Forrest Whitaker. A photo with Forrest Whitaker was what, $100?
Well, and that's just it. What we spent, what we're gonna. I'm glad that we can share the pain on Ewan, but I think that just because of the price on that might be the only one I go in on or go see. Or whereas previous celebrations, like Celebration 2 in the autograph area, you didn't have to worry about what day a celebrity was going to be there because they were all there all days and they were at their table every day, and you could just roam and you could take your time, chat it up with them. There was no cattle call, get you in and out as fast as they can. You could actually kind of enjoy yourselves, but and actually have a moment with some of these folks, kind of like you were saying you had at ICC Con, which is sort of a throwback to how things used to be.
Yes, which is why you guys need to go. You guys really, you guys are going to be. To me, I felt like I was time traveling to the early days of Celebration.
I knew about it. I had friends that went, and then I saw
you guys. Friends that went. Oh, yeah. I know, Sean, you were out there with Lisa in Vegas. You guys were at a wedding. It wouldn't have worked for you anyway. But you guys got to make that happen next year. And I am not being paid by ICC Con. They're not Machtails from the Cantina. But I got to tell you, man, it was
the guys that even introduced me to ICC were there. Well, no, the guy that introduced me was not there. But these guys are hardcore vintage, swappers, man. They trade and collect some pretty serious stuff,
But without talking about the frustration with how big Celebration has gotten, let's go back to the early days when you and I, Sean and Alfie, we were hanging out at Celebration. I think our friendship has evolved and has grown because we would meet up at Star Wars Celebration.
Right. Starting with Celebration 1 for you and me, Chris, when you recognized me from Public Access Backyard Wrestling in the middle of the Denver airport, was the kickboard thing. But we didn't hang out at Celebration. And I don't think we even hung out at Celebration 2, but we ran into each other.
Oh, hey. Like we passed in the hallway.
Right, yeah, we saw you in passing.
Celebration 3, we hung out at.
And then, you started coming to the Christmas parties. And
yeah, but that was years later.
I know, but still,
because I don't have any pictures of us together until Celebration 3.
Till Celebration 3, yeah. That one.
No, there's one time at your apartment.
I don't know if Tyler can dig that photo up. That one's in the archives. Celebration 3. Sean, you don't have that handy in the binder?
Let's see here. I got my pile of binders right here. So here's Celebration 3.
I'm a little jealous that you have a pile of binders. Mine is like bins. Hey, Adam D, man, you gotta join us on Patreon, brother. I know you're a big Rays fan and you're always watching the show. $2 gets you the podcast. I'm kind of whoring myself out right now, but that's what I need to do. I got to use my vehicle.
Hey man, you got to get your hustle on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Adam D, thanks for listening as always, man. I appreciate you tuning in on a regular basis. Sean, I'm very, very jealous of all those binders.
I have binders. I was putting binders together from C1 all the way up until about C6, and it was C4 that was the last one that had the actual photos that I took, because that was when I was still up until C4. I was still using a film camera to take pictures that had to be developed. After that, things started going digital, and I just never got around to printing them. So I was in the binders. I was just putting the different things that I picked up, like postcards and memorabilia, patches, and so forth. But this is our first. Here it is. There's our first celebration. That's the first celebration picture of us together.
Yeah.
So outside of the and right, Alfie, with that my sister helped create for you, my sister-in-law, I should say. So that and then we found the patch at breakfast with some members of the 501st. So, but yeah,
it's funny too, because in that photo we're like tough guys, but now we're like,
now it's
we're all hugging on each other now, because obviously we've been friends since 1999. Sean, you and I go back even earlier than that. Now, Sean, it's funny, you have a trailer full of collectibles, but you have your memories so well organized. So organized.
Yeah.
And easily accessible too, right?
Yeah, I keep these binders on my rack with all my DVDs and everything, just because I enjoy going through them every once in a while. But like I said, some of the later binders, like let me see here. Let me pull out. So here's like Celebration 6. So this was I think the last time Official Picks offered a binder.
Oh yeah, because they offered a binder for all those years.
Right. So here's a picture. First time that Alfie and I met Ian.
Oh yeah, take your weapon.
Yeah, that was our first meet and greet. That was his first. So that was Ian's first celebration.
Alfie looks like he's a euphoric fanboy, and Sean, you look a little bit scared.
Well, you never know what you don't want to displease the Emperor, or anything like that. But yeah, this is also when they had their.
John, you always.
This is when they had their clone trooper art exhibit that was going on. Just like they did the Vader helmets and the Boba Fett helmets over the years. I heard that they're.
See, Sean was afraid that Ian was gonna do the the fingers when he electrocutes Luke. Creating his teeth. That was Orlando.
That was Orlando.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's one of my biggest regrets. Duffy and I.
That was the first Orlando celebration.
C5 was first Orlando.
The first Orlando celebration.
It was also the first time I had VIP, which is why I've got this shirt on.
Hold on. Celebration. Ian McDermott was at Celebration 5?
No, that was Celebration 6.
Oh, that the one in 2012. That's the one that would 2012.
It's bad because we can't keep up with what numbers they are, what year they were.
That's when we were hanging out. That's the one that we were hanging out with Filoni and Jimmy Mac at that one like VIP area. I think that was 4. That was in LA, wasn't it? No, this is Orlando.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
From the Force Among Us, and people are looking at me like, "Who's that guy?" I'm always with Chris Mock and those other guys. Yeah,
yeah. I've got. You see, I've got this in my Celebration 4.
Nice one.
That is the promo thing that we put together. Pat to pat to sign and pass out.
Hey, move your finger, Sean. That's my Luke Skywalker from Celebration 2.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even have a copy of that 8x10. I don't even have and I loved that. That was Sean. Did you make that 8x10?
I did.
Oh, that was brilliant. I know some of you lucky fans out there have one of those. First time, I'm trying to think too. Okay. First photo we have from Celebration is Celebration 3. First time we roomed together. All three of us.
That was the last Orlando one that we went to.
What was? The timeshare. The timeshare. Oh yeah, so Celebration 1.
That's Celebration 1. There's a deep cut right there.
Oh yeah, you want to see? Here we go. Celebration 1. Here's the first time. Oh wait, let me see here. Lisa and I meeting or hanging out.
No, I got Tyler back in the production control room. He's got the slideshow. That's probably part of the slideshow, man.
Oh, is it?
But I was, there's me and Glenn. I mean, there's some great Drew Struzan. I mean, these are the old days, man. I'm all like nostalgic looking at all this shit.
Well, yeah, like for example, Drew Struzan, for crying out loud, the man is a legend in our time, and he was in a tent signing for free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
hey, Shmi's smiling.
Is that Pernilla August?
Yeah, Pernilla August. Oh, there's the Jar Jar Jam.
Pernilla August.
Oh man, there's so many. Pernilla August she was an attractive lady. She's a little older, but
hey, man,
she was almost like. There's where the Jar Jar Jam took place.
Yeah. I
gotta give a shout out to Tyler Page for digging this up. This is some
yeah, those are my photos from the Jar Jar Jam right there. Yeah.
Behind the scenes stuff. And Sean, you've always taken some really, really good photos, more photos than I have. First time we roomed together though, I want to say that was Celebration the one Celebration 6 in Orlando when we were filming The Force Within Us.
Yes, correct.
So I this is kind of funny. So Matthew Rooney, the newest.
Oh, there it is.
There's that photo, Sean. It was on that reel. So Matthew Rooney, the newest show producer of Machtails, he had said, "Hey, I watched The Real Fans," and he said, "When I met you at ICCCon, you seemed like a really, really nice guy. You were very
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, let me thank him really quick for calling you out on being a dick. While I'm trying to tell you, I lost my job and I'm bummed about maybe not going to Celebration. You're just like, yeah, whatever, man. I got to catch a plane. See ya.
But, he said that was acting, like that could not have been real. Now, here's the thing. I got to say that, before I go on to this Matt Rooney story, this guy here, there was even one of these guys at ICCCon. The guy walking around with the boombox. I mean,
how do you know? How do you know it wasn't the same guy?
Because I 20th anniversary of this going on. I mean, this is just. Oh, why is he not at Celebration 10? Joel Edgerton. That was the only convention appearance that he made.
Uncle Owen, yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. You're getting me all like, I'm going to start crying soon.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But hey, so Matthew Rooney said...
Yeah, that's Celebration 2. Yeah, there's that other picture So, did you get Porkins from Celebration 2?
I got Porkins out in Omaha when I went out there with Duffy in like 2000. I got him way before that, a couple years before that. But Sean, I got to bring up our fight again. And Alfie, have you ever had a fight or argument with Sean? You guys have been friends longer than I have.
Not really. No, not really.
I've got the Filipino Brotherhood going on, right?
No, not really.
Like, oh, Sean, do you remember why I snapped? This is an important part of the story. I snapped at you at Celebration 2017. It was Easter Sunday,
right?
Or the day before Easter Sunday. No, I think it was Easter Sunday night. It was kind of like
it was the last day. Okay, it was the last day. We were sort of leaving. We were going to the hotel that we were going to stay at before we started driving home. Is what it was. And I remember because we were at
Easter Sunday.
I remember we had to pack everything up from where we were staying and then go to this hotel. And I remember we were already grumpy and tired from the convention to begin with. So the fuses were short. The fuses were short. Let's just say that. So, and I remember when we got to the hotel.
Did you hear about this fight?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
I remember when we got to the hotel and we're bringing things up into the room, you made a big stink about your white noise machine. And and I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get you.
I can see Tyler laughing backstage now.
And I'm like, oh, fine. I go, okay, well, and then you packed it in the car underneath everything. If this was something you needed, that should be near the top of the pile. God damn it! So I spent all this time getting you your goddamn white noise machine. You didn't even say thank you. You know, you just like, you know. And then we get up into the room, and you and Bo took off to jump a fence to get to the hot tub at the hotel next door.
That's right. That's right.
And the meetings are left in the hotel to finish carrying up all the luggage and everything. And we're like, what the hell, man? It's just like, and then I think later on you came in and I don't remember what was going on. I just remember thinking, I'm like, this diva here, man, is just getting on my last nerve.
I'm going to kill him.
But the thing, not. Yeah.
Here's the thing. I had bought a minivan maybe 3 months prior, and Sean's like, "Can we take your van?" I'm like, no, I just bought it. No.
I remember you called me and told me that. Yeah. Sean wants to borrow my minivan. Yeah, fuck that guy.
I know. I just bought this thing. Grace was like, "Oh hell no, we just fucking got this thing, man." But Sean's like, "Why couldn't you be here? Why couldn't you be here? Why couldn't you be here?" I'm like,
Anyway, I was just crabby, and I was feeling like you were being this diva prima donna, like wanting all these things of the.
No, it was not being I could see how you would think. Sean, I love you like a brother, and that night made us stronger. I told you.
I know that wasn't the case. I was just crabby.
But a diva, why? Because I made a couple documentaries. You think I'm like?
Well, no, it's because of like you had all these demands, and I'm like, okay, fine.
Where's my white noise machine?
Yeah, and then I dug to some of it.
I got to ask you guys this because last night I had my brother Brian Klein on 3 things to bring to celebration. I want to hear from you guys. Mine is water, white noise machine, obviously, and the other one was my own soap because I broke out like the Emperor from Return of the Jedi by using Irish Spring soap. Alfie, what are the top 3 things that you need to bring to celebration with you?
Lots of socks.
Socks, yes.
Because if you were in a costume, because I wore these flood boots, with my costumes, and you got to make sure you got a fresh pair of socks because they're gonna get stinky. You know what I mean?
Fresh pair of socks.
And then I'm not gonna speak for me, but you might need some Febreze, especially on Sunday. When people are just kind of like coming back.
Now, are you talking like air mister or body mister or like potpourri?
Because
spray on people.
I remember one guy in Anaheim. And not only did he stink, but his fart cloud went into my mouth. Dude, remember that shot? I'm like, dude.
Yeah. I think it was like beef and cheese and some onions.
Nostrils, and I'm like,
I was doing a little crop dusting at ICC con.
I couldn't move, and I inhaled it. I'm like, oh my god! And I've done some stuff where I could have killed small families with some of my farts, but. Some, the immigrant family at Walmart, Sean, remember that one?
Oh my God! All of a sudden, Alfie. He gives me, he gives me,
oh, damn.
he gives me this look. He's like, we gotta go. I'm like, what? And all of a sudden, I hear, oh.
I'm like, oh my God!
I told you for Breeze, socks, and you got a third one.
I would say, just bring your charger, your charging block because
it's so important.
You got to have that
charging
block.
Take
a lot of photos, and you're gonna film a lot of stuff because that's just the society we're in now. Everyone's just like, ooh,
and you don't want to run out of memory. You know what I mean? So back it up on Dropbox.
This is not necessarily to bring, but stake out in Anaheim. Stake out the food trucks, okay? Because convention food sucks. Even in Chicago, it wasn't even that great. It was just those corner places. Remember the corner of each in the
right.
But Anaheim had that food truck drive where all those food trucks were there.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Sean, how about you? Top 3 things to bring to celebration.
Well, a lot of the things that have been mentioned are just basic stuff. The charger, the shoes. Because you're going to be in line a lot. But one of the things I always like to do is you got to have a plan. Back in the old days, you could kind of loaf a little bit,
but
that
panel happening. When are
yeah. Well, here's the thing: when they start to announce stuff, and with today's celebrations, there's no way you're going to see everything. Back in up to C4, you could almost see everything at some point during the weekend. Or during the course of the weekend, you could get around to see everything. That's never going to happen anymore. So that being said, you're going to have to look and see, like you said, when it comes to celebrities, who are the priorities? When it comes to the panels, what are the priorities? When it comes to, what the vendors and exclusive you want to go after, you have a game plan. Set a day aside to just do your shopping. Set a day aside to just do your autographs. You set a day aside to just do nothing, and also be prepared to not get the things and then have a backup, so
one thing, this is a side note, the first Orlando had a really good setup. They had about maybe 2, maybe 3 different swag stations where you can pick up your exclusives. Remember that, Sean?
Yeah,
it wasn't just one. There was actually about 3 or 4 strewn out throughout the entire celebration, so you wouldn't have to wait in line for 2 or burn that Thursday when everyone's trying to get their swag.
I
wish they would do that again. I don't know if they're going to do that again, but
there's going to be some version of that at least.
Pretty horrendous exclusive,
right. But have a plan and don't be disappointed when it doesn't go the way you want. It's not the end of the world. There's always something else you can move on to, and there's never a shortage of things you can look at. So probably so. I would put batteries and shoes as my number 1. I have a plan as my number 2, and number 3, just have fun.
Have fun. You don't even have to pack that.
That's right.
Hey, I want to bring my brother Tyler on because I want to hear from him his top 3 things to bring to celebration.
Hey. All right, we're good.
Hey, ho, ho.
Tyler, it's funny because I know you're working your ass off back there, and all of a sudden it's like, hey, I want to bring Tyler on right now. It's a gratification. So, okay, well, Tyler, what are the 3 things that you are going to bring to Celebration? I'm sure ICC kind of prepped you for that, and you obviously went to the one in Chicago, but this is your first Celebration on the road. What are you going to pack?
Yeah, first money, cash. I think having cash on hand is key.
Cash is good, yeah.
Cash is king.
So we actually had to stop at the ATM out in Nashville because ICC Con was only taking cash.
Yeah.
No credit card.
What?
Yeah, it was great.
I liked it, to be honest.
So it was kind of it was kind of an important thing to have, cash for sure, especially with the vendors,
Yeah. So I've definitely cash. I've been saving for years at this point now. I got this nice little device where I just shove all my spare change into and my spare dollars, and then
it looks like a Doctor Who kind of thing. What is that?
Yeah, right.
It's literally just a savings tool where you
is that the first bank of TARDIS?
Or it looks like a crab pot bait box.
Yeah, I mean, I got like $1,500 right there, just for a couple of years. So
nice. Yeah, and change. There's a coin shortage in the pandemic era.
It's a lot of dollar bills. But yeah, that for me personally, knowing California, this is legal. Marijuana,
marijuana is a big thing.
For me, that's a big deal. I'm gonna be walking that.
But if you don't bring that with, and it's legal out there,
I'm not bringing it with. No.
So what you're saying is make sure to have both your greens.
Yeah, exactly. Green 1, green 2,
and a salad on top of that, right?
Of course, naturally, as you can tell from my svelte figure.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm trying to think of the third. I think the third is just like, this is gonna sound so cheesy, but like the right attitude, because there's, we're getting feedback. If you go into it and you're expecting to do all these things, get all the exclusives, and get disappointed, you'll be disappointed. But go in and just like look for a good time, man. Just look for a good hang, meet some people.
With the kind of crowds that Celebration draws, you, as much as you'd feel like you'd want to get everything, you're not entitled to anything. So don't go in there with an attitude thinking I should have this. I should just be. It's if they wanted it to be for everybody, then there'd be no limited quantities on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. Antonio, show producer Antonio from New Jersey, just invited Tyler to New Jersey, but not me. I don't know.
Hey, does that mean cannabis is legal out there?
It brings up the green.
I have a feeling that it might be legal out there as well. But
yeah, see how it is? Tyler brings up the kush. All of a sudden, he's getting invites all over the place.
Well, it was funny because I joked about this. I forgot to mention this on the show and on the podcast. But Tyler, famous words that we've heard for the last handful of years. Antonio, show producer. He says legalize weed. We've legalized it in some spots, but not everywhere. So I'm at ICC Con with Tyler and Brian. And, Tyler and Brian are part of the Babu Freaks and on RFR. And people were going up to them going, hey, you're Tyler, you're Brian. Very nice to meet you. People would just go up to me and be like, hey, Chris, good seeing you. Hey, man, nice work. I'd be like,
right.
Who the fuck are you? There was no introduction. And it was just, Tyler and Brian are going to get there like in Celebration. Hey, good to see you. And you're going to be like, remember ICC Con?
Right.
They were supposed to listen to the.
Well, I remember Alfie and I got a little bit of that after we did your first documentary. I think it was the first Celebration after your first documentary came out. We got.
It was just hot.
Hey, you're in that documentary with Chris Mott.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't even get there. Like, I love your documentary. He was like, hey, Chris, good to see you. I'm like, who are you? I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but make the connection.
It's kind of funny. Once The Force Among Us came out, we started to sense a little hostility from the 501st. But after that came out and saw that we don't bite hard, so Austin Powers, we actually got along with the 501st after that.
Yeah,
and they were totally cool with us, But for a while, we thought, it's those guys. It's those guys, And then Yeah, and then when we started the Mandalorian mashups, I'm like, listen, we're not impeding on anything you guys do, so we're cool.
Yeah, we're not trying to infringe.
Merc, on the other hand, there was one time where Sean was in his Batmando, and he went to the Merc station.
Yeah, I can tell you piss off the Mercs. You're doing their thing, man.
They did not want him there because he was getting all the photos. He's got his wings spread out, and these Mando guys just looking at him like, "Who is this guy? Get him out of here!" I'm like,
Wait, do you want your photo with? Is it Scorch? Right, the EU Fed. You want your photo with? Is that right, Scorch?
Scorch.
What are we talking?
You're talking about the trooper.
Yes,
the Republic Commando.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a Mando?
No, it's a Republic Commando, Scorch.
It's a Republic Commando, Scorch. Okay, do you want your photo with a Mando, or do you want your photo with Batmando? It's like
right. That's what I'm saying. That's always been my point with the mashups, because it's like stormtroopers are white noise at a convention. You know, we want to stand out somehow. You know. And speaking of costuming, going back in time to Celebration 2, that was the first time I ever tried coming up with a costume because of Alfie. He wouldn't let up. He's like, we got to dress up. And I was never the kind of guy that would dress up for a convention. So I'm like, okay, fine. That's when I came up with my fake Sith Lord. I called him Darth Hines. And here's with my goatee and everything.
Someone actually believed him that he was actually.
Yeah, somebody. So there, I had dual lightsabers, and this was I had a hood and a robe and everything else. And I had my little Alice Cooper makeup on, and
I was about to say it's more like Darth Mealy.
When was the last time you saw an Aura Singh cosplayer?
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while, but it was so funny because you know how some uber geek nerds will refuse to not know something about a fandom. When I was at the autograph area, I think it was when I was seeing Porkins. I don't know if you can see that real quick. When I was visiting him, yeah. So I was, and the handler. So the
long after that.
Yeah, not too long after that. So the handler for him kept looking at me, trying to figure out who I was, and I said, "Oh yeah, I'm an early apprentice of Darth Bane. I'm Darth Hines." And he sits there for a minute, and I could see the wheels turning, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember reading about that character." Yeah, I was completely bullshitting with the guy.
Comedic side. Hey, to reel it back into kind of present day excitement, aside from celebration anticipation. And because we're deep today, we're celebrating Cinco de Mayo, and we're taking a look at a little bit of a deep dive, Mexican culture, Star Wars style. Diego Luna is a huge Star Wars fan. He grew up in Mexico City. Are you guys more excited about Obi-Wan or Andor? And just look at the big picture. Don't necessarily live in the present, because we don't know when we're going to get Andor, and I hope to God that Diego Luna is going to be at Celebration, and I would pay $400 for his photo. That's a lot of money for him, but I don't think he would charge as much as Ewan McGregor.
No, I don't think he would either. I don't think he's going to be there. I think the bulk of the big name.
You're breaking my heart now. You're breaking my heart now. He's not going to be.
Well, I'm going, and I'm going to continue to do so because
remember, that day Obi-Wan comes out, it's a huge day. Because
Obi-Wan, there's no Obi-Wan.
Freaking Top Gun comes out that day.
I hate to break it to you, Chris, but nobody is excited for Andor over Obi-Wan. It's just not.
Not even.
I am.
Okay, one person.
Hey, one person. I was watching Revenge of the Sith today. I had a man crush on Ewan McGregor. I watched everything that he was in up until a certain point. I wanted to be like him until Rogue One came out, and I'm like, okay, give me Andor. Give me the Pilgrim.
I'm not.
Oh, I'm sure we're gonna get some Andor stuff. We'll probably get a trailer. We'll probably get a panel.
It did so the teen years, I'll be all for that, man.
Well, I'm sure. Hey, we are gonna play Shag, Marry, Disintegrate, Asian Pacific heritage style, if you will.
Okay.
We're gonna play that next.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I gotta grab something.
So we're gonna remove Sean from the cast because, as I learned on my first show what do? Tyler, we don't walk away when we're doing a live show.
No.
But he went to go get something very, very important, and I'm trusting in that. Tyler, you're obviously more excited about Obi-Wan than Ava.
Yeah, Obi-Wan all the way, man.
No,
I mean,
is that Rev, the Inquisitor chick?
Oh yeah, Riva.
I think she's gonna be trouble.
Yeah, so a lot of people are speculating she's gonna flip.
And a really, really good move to have. What's her name? Her real name?
The actress. I'm not sure.
Something.
Moses,
she's got a cool name.
Moses.
I like the fact that she's a female African American antagonist of Obi-Wan, and I think it really diversifies the cast without having it be some crazy alien. They got to just kind of like the token African American guy in Jedi.
Yeah.
Whoa,
I do hope there's a good amount of aliens in the show, though. I mean, that's
right, and the droids. But I love how I like the casting of her in particular is going to bring such a flavor to this series. And just based on what we saw from the trailer yesterday, I think she's going to be a handful. You know what I mean? And it looks like I hope they actually show her killing people.
She's sure in that one part she's throwing that saber around.
Right,
someone's dying.
The table on Tatooine in front of that guy in the teaser,
Yeah.
But I really like the casting of her, and I think she's going to be a star out of this. You know what I mean?
I could see it. I know Sean's back. He's
but
back.
Yeah, so
I'm going to bring up one more thing about the trailer. I'm seeing people moan that the Grand Inquisitor doesn't look like the cartoon. I'm like, please, really? He doesn't look like the cartoon character.
Well, you know what? I know the Grand Inquisitor from the Lenovo VR game because I did not watch the cartoon, the Clone Wars. So I was introduced to the character that way when I had to fight him. And I got to tell you, when I saw him on screen during the Obi-Wan trailer, I was like, oh my God, I know who that is.
He was on Rebels, man.
It's a little Alien Nation, but that's okay,
That's how he looked in the VR game, though, I thought.
But people are moaning.
It's not that
kind
bad
of
of a
like
deal.
when no, it's just. But I can't believe people are complaining. He didn't look at the cartoon. I mean,
It is what it is. People are going to find something to be whiny about. So I just got to move along.
He wasn't blue enough. I'm like, what?
Oh, Cat Bane was amazing.
Cat Bane was awesome. That was
People
epic.
are going to complain about
Right down to his teeth.
anything.
Yeah, and then the Cad Bane moment was epic, and people want to complain about the shade of blue. I mean,
you go ask the two other guys on Tatooine on Mos Eisley. I mean, they're probably his cousins.
So speaking of celebration and anticipation, this showed up in the mail the other day, Alfie.
Oh,
this is your Saturday pass.
Oh, there we go.
Now, here's the aggravating thing about this. Of course, we all know these.
Oh, it's got Slave One. It's different.
Yeah. This is what the Saturday pass looks like.
Oh,
so
you like
now? You've got probably one of the better ones, Alfie. To be honest with you. Now, what's frustrating?
How much better is that? The ship is a little closer, but it's still a screen grab.
Right. Now, what's frustrating about that? I picked that up for you when they
Moses Ingram. Is that how you say her name? Ingram?
Ingram. Moses Ingram.
I got to switch to my charger because I'm at 3% right now. So if there's hopefully you can still hear me.
Well, we're having
So anyway, I haven't received my VIP passes yet, which I ordered when they first went on sale back in 2020. I ordered out that for Alfie when they restarted, when they put them back up, and I've already got that one. So I'm like, what the hell?
It's one of those things. I had to put Sean on mute because he needs to recharge because I cannot deal with the delay. Tyler, when you guys were getting ready to go out for dinner with Jimmy Mac, I was with Suds in the other room.
Yeah.
And he was giving me the gunner treatment. It was just that echo, and when I have headphones on and I can hear oh my God. It was I do not do well under that circumstance.
Yeah. Well, it's like messes with your brain. I can't even think.
With my brain big time. But Sean is always welcome on the show. He's going to be on the show several times. He's going to be at the live show as well as you are. Alfie, you're going to be at the live show in Anaheim on Sunday?
Actually, I'll talk to you about that.
Oh, he's got to talk to me about that. Okay. Well, it's off the record. It's not to remain on record. Alfie, I do want to play a little Shag, Marry, Disintegrate.
Okay.
And you know what, Tyler, I'm going to do this with you too.
All right.
I'm gonna do it with Alfie first. Alfie, because it is Asian Pacific Heritage Month, stuck to the Asian ladies. Shag, marry, disintegrate. Kelly Marie Tran, Rose Tico.
Right.
Bai Ling, right here, baby. Bai Ling, sign this for me. She was very flirtatious.
Yeah.
Celebration 3. Were you there at Celebration 3 when I got this autograph?
Yeah.
She wrote something,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it says, but I feel like
when I met her, I gave her the line from The Crow. She has pretty eyes.
yeah, and then she probably, I'm sure, was flirtatious back with you, but you're a happily married man, so we know how that story goes.
Yeah.
And then Veronica, how do you say NGO? How do you pronounce that?
NGO?
No? Yeah.
NGO, go. Just go.
Just go. So
Right.
Veronica Go, which is Paige Tico. That was the girl that was in that.
She was in the bomber.
In the bomber, yes. Which was Rose Tico's sister.
Right.
In the story. Shag, marry, disintegrate.
Okay. I would definitely shag her. She doesn't look like someone I would marry, but definitely a college age chick that I would definitely shag.
Shag Paige Tico.
Paige Tico.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who are you going to marry?
Kelly
Kelly Marie Tran or Bai Ling?
I would, because I follow Kelly Marie Tran as the actual actress. I would marry her.
You would marry Kelly Marie
Yes.
Tran. Okay. Bai Ling?
Bai Ling,
You'd kill her?
I'd kill her. She was the she was Top Dollar's girlfriend in The Crow, and she tried to kill the bird, and
I got to play along because I always ask this question, but I never played a game. I would have to shag Bai Ling because she was very, very flirtatious with me. Kelly Marie Tran, I would have to marry. So very much like you would have to fight over her.
Right.
Lightsaber duel to the death. Veronica Go, you know what? She died in the bomber. So I'll leave her there.
But when it comes to Asian actresses, none of them come even close to freaking Ming Na.
No?
No. Ming Na, she's in her late 50s. She looks like she's in her late 30s, man. How hot is she? Ming Na smoking, even though she's closer to 60. But, look at her during her younger years. She was smoking, man.
I don't know. I still pick these two over Ming Na.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah.
But that's my choice.
Nah.
That's my personal preference.
Nah.
This is an opinionated game. Tyler, shag, marry, disintegrate, baby. Kelly Marie Tran, we got a photo op, me and you with her.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about that. Much cheaper than Ewan McGregor's photo op. Bai Ling or Veronica Go, which was Paige Tico on the bomber.
Yeah. It was nice that you let me go second because it let me think about this, but it's totally going to be Paige Tico for marrying. I think that girl was so hot. I think she's hotter than Ming Na personally.
She was hot.
And then I would marry. I said I was going to marry her. Then I would shag Kelly Marie Tran and kill the last girl I'm blanking.
You would kill Bai Ling.
Yeah, kill Bai Ling. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Make sure
agree
you
with that.
guys Google Bai Ling, Star Wars, and you might change your mind.
Really quick, I believe Kelly Marie Tran was Vietnamese.
Yes, Kelly Marie Tran.
Ling
Yes.
is either Hong Kong or she's either Cantonese or Mandarin. I think she's Cantonese. I could be wrong.
Veronica is Vietnamese.
Veronica
as well.
was also Vietnamese.
Yes.
Sean has acquired some headphones.
Sean has acquired some
and
headphones.
then off topic, Ming Na is she's Chinese.
I cannot hear Sean.
But she's actually Macan from the island of Macan, which is Chinese. But she's, I think, Cantonese Chinese. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I'm.
No.
You know what? We got to have Tyler look that up. Tyler will confirm that. Sean, it's your turn to play Shag, Marry, Disintegrate. Asia Pacific, the Asia Pacific version, if you will. And you know what? I only have, this is something silly that we do. I've learned this from Andy Cohen on Watch What Happens Live. Any women out there that want to play this game, I am more than happy to ask you guys the question. I've asked my sister.
Well, see, we got to have women on the show, first of all.
Well, yeah, women are always invited on the show. They're all. My wife has played this game before. Lisa has played this game, I'm sure.
I don't know. She hasn't played this one yet.
We'll get her on the next episode, and she can play Shag, Marry, or Disintegrate. We do not discriminate, but we disintegrate. Sean, Kelly Marie Tran, Maya Ling, or Veronica Go, who was Paige Tico's sister, who was Rose Tico's sister on the bomber, in the sequels. That was episode 9, right? Episode 9?
What?
Was the bomber?
No, episode 8.
Last
Episode
Jedi.
8?
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi. I get the sequels mixed up because we love the sequels, but we don't love them as much as the other ones.
Right.
All right,
So
Sean. You ready to go?
those are the choices we're going with for this round.
Yeah, those are good choices, man. Those are hard choices now.
Are they though?
They are.
I would probably. Gosh, this is tough because there's no way to really answer it without getting in trouble. In some form of fashion. I would probably say, shag Kelly Marie Tran, marry the other one, the Paige, and then I'd have to kill Ling because she just looks like a very high maintenance mess that I don't even want to deal with.
You make a good point. High maintenance mess. She was on Celebrity Rehab, I believe.
Yeah.
She was very flirtatious with like 5 of us guys at Celebration 3. Yeah, you know what? I said I wanted to shag her, not marry her. You guys want to kill her. All you guys want to kill her.
She was a Brad person in The Crow.
Tyler's going to confirm where all these fine, beautiful women. Thanks for playing, guys, by the way.
I can't believe you didn't have, Ming-Na Wen in that Oxlock because that would be instant marry there.
I was going a little older school, I guess,
But I think Bai Ling's older than Ming-Na.
Well, of course, Bai Ling goes back to episode 3. Her scenes were cut probably because she was a hot mess and she got herself in some sort of trouble.
Well, because she posed for Playboy before the movie came out.
I don't think that's what got her nixed. I don't believe, again, Google Bai Ling Star Wars. You guys might consider a tag.
I have that issue, by the way.
Tyler, maybe you're digging back there, Playboy Bai Ling photos. Maybe you can.
Some things popped up, and I did not click on those because I don't want any viruses on this computer.
Okay, so Tyler, Kelly Marie Tran, she's from Vietnam, yes?
Her parents were born in Vietnam. They fled during the Vietnam War. And then Bai Ling is Chinese, born in China. And then Paige, who I'm sorry for this name, mispronunciation, Tri Vinh. She's Vietnamese, born in Vietnam.
My Asian ethnic groups.
Yeah, you were spot on.
Spot on with that.
People are like, hey, man, you seamos as Jimenez. I'm like, okay, soy Filipino.
I remember Los Guerreros de Galaxias. And that's not made of force.
And really, the Cinco de Mayo is truly a gringo holiday. That's not even like
it's a gringo holiday. Yes, I know.
It's not even celebrated, and that's true. It developed in the '80s with with
the beer companies,
with beers, with what's it, Corona and stuff. They started celebrating Cinco de Mayo because it had a ring to it.
Much like May the 4th, which is pretty much a Hallmark holiday.
Speaking of Star Wars, obviously the Fort Star Wars Day really, when did it start? Within the last 10, 20 years?
No, Star Wars Day didn't
less than that.
Less than that.
Because 20 years ago, when Celebration 2 was happening on May 4th.
But what other movie franchise has a pseudo holiday?
It's true.
Well, we got 2. We got November something rather for the holiday special. And Sean, you just showed me something.
No, but what other movie franchise, not Star Trek or Batman, has a pseudo holiday?
The Festivus for the rest of us.
Serenity now!
So Sean actually showed me something that I've been searching for. It's not a super expensive item, but it's a rare one. It is from the reincarnation of one of my top favorite bands of all time, the Jefferson Starship. Jefferson Airplane is one of my favorite bands of all time. But Sean, look at that. At the bottom, it says, as seen. and heard. See, you have that 45. How much did you pay for that, and where did you get that, my friend?
eBay. It was about $20.
And you know what? I thought you would have gotten that for my birthday gift.
You surely you jest. No, there's
Yeah, you just got it recently.
Yeah, not too. The only reason why I did was because I knew that we all know there's very little merch or even proof of the holiday special's existence back when it came out.
Yes.
Other than maybe a Starlog magazine or an ad in TV Guide, but this was sent to radio stations as a promo and a record to be played in as the show was coming up. Yes. And actually, I saw this post about them donating that to Steve Sansweet. And I'm like, I need that album. I got to find this album. I immediately went to eBay, and there was one auction. And it had to buy.
Wait a minute. Are we looking at like the 15th incarnation of Jefferson Starship right now?
Yes. And and one of their background guys. But this is Starship. Oh, I think he's frozen. Do you think he's frozen, Sean?
I think.
Am I frozen? No.
You're just sitting there.
Yeah, right.
It
was like the end of an 80s TV show.
Yeah. But yeah,
no, because I cannot believe it. Look, Jefferson Airplane was from San Francisco. That's Steve Sansweet's backyard. Paul Canner and Marty Ballin. You combine them together, you have Party. But those guys have both passed on. And for some magical reason, Jefferson Starship keeps going on, but there are no original members left.
None.
Well, Grace Slick, she's retired. She says old people should not play rock and roll. But
that's
you know what?
That's so misguided. But okay, she can do.
Man, that would have been better if Paul Canner and Marty Ballin were there, but they're not in hologram form. They've left us, unfortunately. May they rest in peace. But this is a recent photo, you say?
It's like
this
week,
and it was because of this post that made me go searching for it, because I didn't even know of its existence until that post, and that's when I went hunting for it.
That's crazy, man. That is, and again, Steve lives like right, in that San Francisco Bay area.
And what's
I was in disbelief.
and the interesting thing about his copy is slightly different from the one I have, because the jacket has got some color, got some red colored thing on it that mine does not have. So there's I guess there's some variance on the sleeves for those.
Well, a little background information on that single that was never released on a full-length album. It was released on the 45 that you have, and it was released on their B-side. And that record label, Grunt Records, that was the Jefferson Airplanes record label that they had formed probably in 1970. And they had used that. They were kind of doing Prince before Prince. They had their own record label for a very, very long time. But just a little information and background on that. That is crazy. That is. So they presented Steve Sansweet like with the original release of the 45. Is that what I'm gathering?
Yeah, that's when they gave him a copy of the same thing I got.
Wow. There you go. That's crazy, man. That's very, very interesting. Hey, we're going to ramp up the show. When I'm with you guys, I could do a 3-hour show, but we don't want to do the Nerf Herder Council version because we want to leave people hanging for the next show. And remember, the next show is going to be next Wednesday, whatever date that is, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Central with Frank D. Rich, talking Star Wars autographs and celebration lineup. We got to pick 2 names. Alfie?
For those Hollywood aficionados, they remember the old phrase, "See you next Wednesday," which was a line that got used.
What gang sign is this?
You got a broken finger, Dice.
No, that's not the Emperor. It's Luke.
A gang sign? It's Force Electrocute. All right, this first one is for the one yesterday that we did not draw. They do not have to be present to win. What do we got?
Matthew Rooney.
Oh, Matthew Rooney. Producer Matthew Rooney won the prize from last night. And he tuned in live. He was on the show last night. This one you have to be present to win. This is for tonight.
Okay.
Who do we got there?
Dick Hertz. No.
Hey, leave that. We share a lot of personal information, but leave that to yourself.
Brandon Wool. I can't read the last.
Brandon Woolgast.
Woolgast.
Is Brandon Woolgast tuning in live? Remember, you got to chime in on the YouTube feed, not the Facebook feed. Tyler, I don't know if you have the magic in your hands to work the. Antonio knows him. Antonio knows Brandon Woolgast. Brandon Woolgast has been supporting for a long time. Here, pick another one.
Okay.
We gotta get the winner that's tuning in live. I know there's several people tuning in live tonight. I appreciate you guys.
Antonio from New Jersey.
Antonio from New Jersey. He's watching live. Antonio, you won the prize, my brother. Another show producer. Antonio, let me see you reply chut in the comments.
Yub.
You just replied, I know him. He's still chiming in on your dick hurting. He's here. He won the prize. And he also says, who would have guessed? Yes. Antonio, thank you for being a producer on the show. Antonio will be on the show again real soon. He was on the show Friday. Hey, I want to thank my guests, Sean Hines, Alfie Jimenez, and Tyler Page. I am looking forward to Celebration, no matter how big and overcrowded and sold out it has become. Mo Walker chimes in.
Hey.
Amen to that, man.
Yeah.
Hey, happy Cinco de Mayo, Revenge of the 5th. Never underestimate the power of the 4th, and keep celebrating Star Wars month all night long. Tyler, I'm going to have you sign us out by hitting that end broadcast, and we'll see you guys.